Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. I'm so glad to have you here with me today. Now, today we're going to look at verse 3 in Psalm 128. And verse 3 in Psalm 128 contains the third and the fourth proof. Remember, I've sort of classified this psalm as the 7 proofs of blessing. That's sort of my little title for it. And so here we have verse 3. We have third and fourth of those proofs. Of course, we cannot forget that this is an ascent psalm. So the worshipers who are headed up to Jerusalem are singing this song as they go. It's a part of their little travel hymnal as they make their way up to the great city, to the temple of the Lord, so they can worship there. And this particular psalm, they're really confirming their faith. You know, they're talking about the blessedness. They started out in Meshach and Kedar there in 120, and that was not a good place. There was no blessing there. It was dry. It was hateful. It was awful. It was, not a good place to be. And they realized, kind of like the prodigal in the pig pen, he realized that, well, it's time for me to return. So they get up and they come back home. And on the way, they sing this song, which is, like I said, is a song to confirm their faith. What a blessing it is to fear the Lord. All right, we'll come now to verse 3. And if you have your Bible there, please follow along. And if you don't, I'll be glad to read this verse for us. Verse 3 then, Psalm 128. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house, thy children like olive plants round about thy table. What a blessing that is. Yeah, my translation is essentially the same. The wife and the children are mentioned here. So, third and fourth blessing. The wife is number 3. The children are number 4. So we've had, you're going to eat the produce of your hands. It's going to be well with you or good for you. 3, your wife is going to be productive. That is, she will be like a fruitful vine, which is one of those blessings, right? I mean, this is one of the blessings of having a family, is that the wife bears children. And then the fourth one is that those children, those sons, will be like olive plants around your table. He creates a mental picture, a word picture here for us, like olive trees around your table. Yeah, he does create a little bit of a similitude with that word like, doesn't he? So, we get a picture in our head of how blessed this man is. So his wife is bearing children, and his children are firm, they're established, they're strong, they're tall, they're growing, and they're producing. They're producing something sweet, which is the olive, that oil that represents the Spirit of God. So there's something wonderful about this blessed state of the man who is, fearing the Lord and walking in his ways. And again, you'll notice that fearing the Lord here does not interfere with anything else. Productivity, it doesn't interfere with your work. It doesn't interfere with your life. It doesn't interfere with you having a family, a wife, and children. As a matter of fact, all those things are enhanced by fearing the Lord. So the blessing of family comes in here, which is wonderful, because it's a blessing to have a wife, and it's a blessing to have children, and it's a blessing to have a kitchen table where you all sit around, and the children are seen to be growing and getting stronger and taller as they grow in the Lord, because the olive tree represents, that idea that there's something faithful that's happening there in the home on a daily basis. And sometimes, we don't even recognize that. We don't recognize it because it just happens so naturally, so organically, if I can steal a word from our current culture. Yeah. Well, tomorrow we're going to look at verse 4, and verse 4 is I call it the choral break, or maybe the tag in the song. So I hope you come back tomorrow and join me then here on Daily Dose Radio.